Welcome to the first ever City Boys Show. I'm Javier. This is my brother Danny.
What's up?
We'll be covering NYCFC all season long. We've been fans since 2018.
2018. I think, we weren't spending that much time together, so I was like, all right, this gives us time to hang out, see what's going on with our lives, and at the same time, watch some soccer. And we just became fanboys.
Fanboys hard.
And they were great that season.
Oh yeah, I feel like we barely saw them lose at home that year.
Exactly.
It was like, wow, this team is amazing. Why aren't there more fans in the stand?
I think the reason we started this podcast in particular was that we just wished there was more MLS content out there.
But come on, man. Let's get some NYCFC post game. We are the defending champs. This is our season to defend our championship. And I think it's time we have more content out there for our squad.
And, just trying to vocalize dreams into air. I want you, Tavon Gray, on this show sooner or later by the end of the season. Tavon Gray's become my new favorite player from the Bronx.
Let's
Represent.
go. BX.
BX.
All right, before we go into what we think is going to happen this season, how we're going to defend our title, let's go into the top 5 moments that we had from last year. What's your number 5 choice?
My number 5 choice has got to be that Thiago score against the Chicago Fire. I was at that game. You couldn't make it.
I know, I was so
excuses. So I went there with my wife, Maddie, and, giving her the breakdown. At the time, Parks was playing horrendous. It was a real tough game, but we thought we were going to win this easily.
Yeah.
And it didn't go that way. And we traveled all the way to New Jersey because it wasn't a game at Yankee Stadium. And I was like, you know what? We'll take the tie. It wasn't a great game, but we'll take it. And they brought Thiago in, and it was his first time, I think, but playing in the game.
It was actually his second time playing. He scored on his debut the first time, and then the second game he comes out and does that. So he set the bar really high.
And it was just electric afterwards. It was just amazing, just seeing people going crazy, seeing him be so explosive. There's no other player that has the pace that he has. And to see him go across the pitch to score that goal all by himself. There was no one else involved, and he broke 3 dudes' ankles, and to make that goal, amazing.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed the moment, but I'm sure it was a great moment. I was watching the game, but I was not at the stadium. But yeah, amazing moment from Thiago, and I think upcoming we're gonna see a lot more play from him, so it's gonna be exciting.
Agreed.
My 4th moment was the Thoresen goal. It was against Atlanta United. We were at the time on a 5-game winless streak, so we were struggling at that point. We just came off a loss from the Red Bulls, and it was a tough time for us. 90th minute, Thoresen hits that goal with the free kick. It was a huge moment for us.
It really was. It really was huge.
Against an Atlanta United team that we end up facing in the playoffs, it was a huge moment, and you got to give credit to Thoresen, and I'm going to be sad to see him leave.
I'm really sad he's gone.
But, he played a huge impact in last season for us.
I agree. I love, Thori. I'm sad he's gone. But what a goal. And not only that, but at that moment, it was kind of the epitome of Dele out. Yeah. It was the whole thing where, I didn't even know if I wanted to watch more games because it was a loose streak. We were talking about, do we renew our season tickets? It was just the worst of the worst. And then Goody with that goal, it just kind of changed everything. And after that, we exploded. And so really enjoy that.
Great.
My number, what I think is our number 3 is, it's a really interesting moment, but I feel like it symbolizes our entire season, and it was Tavon Gray during the New England game.
Yeah.
Tinnerholm was such a key member of our team. Gray comes in. He's playing as well as he can for someone who has very little experience. He's from the Bronx, represent.
Yeah.
And then, everything that happens to NYC happens in that game. Taty gets the red card.
Oh man, that was huge.
Which was just
after he just scored a major goal.
Yes.
The ride of emotions, the roller coaster was insane.
Yes. And then what does Delia do? The thing he does worse, pick bad times for substitutions. You know what I mean? And then because we had no more substitutions, Gray gets injured, and doesn't know what to do, right? They can't sub anyone out because Delia used all his subs.
Yeah.
After we were just on this high of we're about to win this game, Gray's out there limping. They score on us, but in the end, we still find a way to win the game. Just like we did the whole season, right? We had the super high, we did some dumb things. We were at the lowest moment, and somehow we found a way to turn it around and win the championship.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the kid from the Bronx. That kid showed heart. Maybe next time, Ronnie, sub him out or make sure you have enough subs. But the kid had heart. He played well, and you got to give all credit to him. What about championship? I mean, I think that's our second moment. That was just huge. I mean, what do you think about that championship moment? Where were you? How did the atmosphere feel?
Well, I think it's a weird thing you're asking me because you were with me, but I get we did it for the show. I get the setup. But Hammerstein Ballroom, we couldn't make it to Portland where we got families. It was hard to make it over there. Yeah. Was really hoping that Real Salt Lake won, so we got the home game.
I know.
But it felt like it was a home game at Hammerstein, man. I mean, I know there was no opposing people at that place, but I felt like I was at the championship game. The atmosphere was super electric. They really hooked us up.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing environment. I couldn't have asked for something better. And winning in penalty kicks.
Oh man,
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
NYC, that whole playoffs was a roller coaster of emotion because we were all ready to celebrate. And then that late goal on us, it was insane, and you could feel everybody down in that crowd.
Yeah.
It was so tough to bounce back from that, and then we had that electric moment at the end, which was unbelievable. And shout out to the DJ. That DJ, he got us so hyped with the Faruko playing it, and it was just unbelievable atmosphere after the win, and you just can't beat that moment. It was great. Yeah.
When you would think, well, that should be our number one moment. But we got to give love to Taty Castellanos. In my opinion, Taty's the reason we made it as far as we did, that we won the championship. I know he wasn't the last penalty kick. I know he got that red card. I know we won the game without him in Philly. But Taty just turned the season around for us, in my opinion. I mean, to watch him 2 years ago, be Hebes, replacement and be flop king, which we scored amazing goals because of his flopping. But to see him go from that to Golden Boot winner, and the way he's just completely transformed. I've never seen in all the sports that I like, any player that I've seen, to see that type of growth in such a short amount of time. Now becoming, chances of him joining a European team. It's just amazing to see his growth, and I cannot think of a top moment than seeing the growth of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane to think about. And I think, I forget which outlet was saying it, but the prior year they said this guy could become one of the best in our league, and it happened. He really showed he could do it. And once he stopped flopping as much, and credit to Ronnie, I don't know what he told them, but he was able to really transform his game, and you could tell from the offseason from 2020 to 2021, he developed rapidly, and it was something that was incredible to watch. I mean, just that potential and that growth from one year to the next, I don't think I've ever seen it in any sport.
You could tell he's worked so hard for that, and
agreed.
Everything he gets is well deserved.
Talking about Taty, now we got to talk about this season. Now, Taty, obviously, he had such a tremendously great season that a lot of teams are looking into him. Now we have a team, his home country, River Plate from Argentina, offered him offered a transfer fee to NYCFC for $10 million, and they rejected. It looks like from all reports that they want $15 million for Valentin Castellanos. What do you think about that? How do you think he reacts to all this?
I don't know. I'm a little torn up about it because Taty wants to play in Europe, right? That's what we keep hearing. And River Plate is in Europe. So, I don't understand.
But you got to give it to him. It's his home country.
Yeah, but, is really South America the place to go? I know MLS gets, a lot of hate, but I do think it's becoming the stepping stone to the European League. Is he really making a horizontal change, or is he actually upgrading by going to River Plate? I think why not hold it out? You have chemistry. You got a coach that loves you. We've seen the growth you have. Hold it out until you can get to a European. I mean, in my opinion, please stay forever, right? I don't want you to go. But if you are going to go, upgrade. I don't think going to River Plate or Palmeiras or wherever else they want to go in South America, don't do it. MLS has the competition. You can grow here. We saw Medina get signed. We saw Sands get signed. Like, in my opinion, don't do it.
But I guess my question would be, does he get upset if NYCFC doesn't transfer him to this team, first of all, which is his Argentinian home squad? And how does he react to that? Does he want to play as much? Is he as motivated to play with us? I think NYCFC has been fair in the past in regards to like allowing a lot of their players to transfer, but for a reasonable fee. And I think that's going to be the question. I mean, he just recently got the captain armband.
Yeah, he did.
So will that motivate him to keep grinding? I mean, I think he wants to eventually go to something bigger.
Yeah.
And I think his value can just keep skyrocketing if he's able to continue to perform at the level he did last year.
Exactly. So I think in my opinion, stay here right out till you get more from a European team. And then let them do the transfer. And they have the money to pay 15 million, 20 million, whatever NYCFC has. But keep showing it here, you know? I think there's still a lot of potential to grow. And when you get the offer that you really want, then go to it. I don't think River Plate's the right answer.
So if he does leave, let's say middle of the summer he leaves, what happens to his position? Who takes over, and what's the stepping stone for NYCFC?
Yeah, I mean, we're really early, right, in the season, so we don't know. My thinking is, what's going to happen with Hebe, right? So we got Taty as captain. Does Hebe play, or is he a sub? But then do we keep him informed? Because if Taty leaves in the summer, then what happens, right? Then we go to the playoffs without, hopefully we make it to the playoffs. Yeah. We make it with him, and now Hebe's got to like get himself into shape to play the ninth. Like, in my opinion, it's a lot. It's a lot for Delio to handle. I think the more playing time you can get for Hebe, the better. I think they can work together. Taty shows that he's not just a pure striker, but that he knows how to pass the ball. And he did some really beautiful passing. Like, is he the best? No, but I think he's got really increased in that. And maybe you can find time for them to play together. What do you think?
Well, I think the key is really the Brazilians. We got three Brazilians who've shown that they're attackers. They can make a play. We have Hebed, obviously. He's coming off it's 2 years now since the injury, but I think we all knew last year he wasn't at his full potential. And I think this may be his breakout season where he's finally back and he's playing to the level that we've seen 2 years ago, which was our main goal scorer and really brought us to where we were at that point. Then we have Thales Magno. He's young, vibrant. He made some huge playoff goals for us. He just had such a huge impact for us. And then we have Thiago. And we already talked to him about him one of our top moments from last year. I mean, the kid is explosive. My only issue with Thiago is sometimes he gets lost on the field. I feel like he's doesn't come back on defense, and I think that's one thing that we'll miss when I know we'll talk about your favorite player, Medina, being gone.
Yes.
So talking about that, Medina, what do you think about Medina being gone, and who do you think is his replacement?
So I know unpopular opinion, but I'm a huge fan of Medina, and I've always loved Medina, and I understand that he didn't live up to the potential that the fans expected. When they first signed him. Yeah. But I think if you take out that expectation and you look at how he played, he's a very good wing, right? He played really good defense when he had to, which was a big part because we were kind of weak on defense for a long time, and Medina stepped up. That's something you don't really see on the highlight reel, but I think he played really well. Yeah. And I think in the beginning of the season, he had a lot of goals. You know, he had that really nice hook goal. Oh yeah. I think the biggest problem with Medina is that sometimes he tried too hard, and he tried to do these really fancy passes. He thought his team was going somewhere that it wasn't, and it'd be bad. And I think what's going to happen is that Talons is going to replace him, Talons Magno, and he's going to. I think he brings a different dimension that Medina didn't, right? He's much faster than Medina. I think he can control the ball much better than him. I think he's got a lot more like raw talent, and if Delia can use that, he can replace Medina with someone who's better offensively. And so I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to have Taty as the ninth, and we're going to have Talons on one side and Santiago on the other side, and then Morales. And I don't know what's going to happen with Thiago. I love Thiago, but at the same time, I think he plays a lot of ISO and doesn't do enough like passing. And maybe they make that better because the more he's out there, I think the more dynamic the team is.
No, I completely agree. And I think really Hebed coming into Taty's spot when Taty leaves is going to be kind of the big moment for NYCFC to see if we can perform at the level that we think we can continue to perform.
Yeah.
I mean, we have such young talent right now that it's going to be huge for us. We just signed Maxi, and I think that's another key question is Maxi going to be an everyday starter, or is Santi now kind of his replacement?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, that's what I thought last year. I was like, is Maxi really, he's getting up there? Is he really going to play at a high level? But he did.
Yeah.
So it's like, can Maxi teach Santi everything he can and then do it for one more season, you know? I mean, he signed with another 2-year contract, I think, 2 or 3-year contract. So I think he still wants to be out there. I hope he can be out there every game. I hope he can put in the minutes he's put in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about offense, but I think we also had a major loss on our defense, sadly. We're talking about James Sands being gone. He went to the Rangers. That's a huge loss from us.
That was a huge loss. I love Sands. I'm so sad he's gone. I know. I mean, the thing is, when we had Sands out there, Delia tried this like 3 center back stuff, and it wasn't really working.
Yeah.
But he would put him, you know, sometimes he replaced Tinnerholm when Tinnerholm was out. Sometimes we played him in like where Parks played. Yeah. And I thought he worked really well there. But we do still have Parks. Hopefully we get Tinnerholm back soon. We got Gray. I think it's going to be a big loss, but I do think that these guys can step up. We've seen so much growth from Parks.
Yeah.
And Tinnerholm plays great. So, and we got this new Thiago kid. So I think all of that can really, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about Thiago later, but I think it's going to be a big loss, but at the same time, I think the guys we have can help step up and make it better.
Talking about Sands, show some love for Sands. I mean, he finally, I think, just got his start in Rangers, for the Rangers. So finally played 90 minutes. I'm happy for him.
Me too.
Because I know he was going on a 4-game streak where he just got no minutes.
Yeah.
And you hate to see that when it's an NYCFC player. You want to see them succeed. So I'm just happy for the guy. Bing bong.
Also, a little on that, while we're on that topic, I know Medina got his own goal. I'm sorry about that, Medina. Still a lot of love for you. I know some fans are like, that's such a Medina thing to do, but you're still my favorite.
So Tinnerholm, obviously, I think we won't see him this year, maybe towards the end of the season. Who replaces Tinnerholm? And I think, that's going to be huge because now we lost Sands and we lost Goody.
Yeah.
So who plays left and right back?
I mean, my opinion, we got a Mutson on the left, right? A Mutson's like sometimes not the best defensively, but I think we saw towards the end of the year he was just doing some amazing crosses inside of the box, getting some really good, especially with Taty and those headers. Like, I just think a Mutson plays really strong on the left, and he's only going to get better and better. He's a young guy. Yeah. And I think on the right, we got to play Gray. I don't really know if we have another option on the right now. And I thought Gray played really well in the postseason, you know. It was great seeing him in Philly, you know. Yeah. I think Gray can step it up. Of course, you know, I'm biased because we're from the Bronx, so I just want whoever's from the Bronx to succeed. But I thought he played really well. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think Gray showed his potential. I mean, he shows the sky's the limit for him. He's young and he still is growing. And he showed he had the potential. Offensively, he can go all the way down the field and make an impact. Defensively, he's right on there as well. Yeah. So he's a huge part of our team, and he's going to be a huge part of our success as well. I think he plays a huge role because we like to bring our backs up forward. So I think that's going to be the key to see how we move forward and how our team succeeds. But now we have this new Thiago guy. I don't know much about him. I'll be quite frank with all of you guys. But what do you think of this guy, and what do you think his impact could be on the team?
I mean, I hear he plays well on defense. I'm wondering if Delia's gonna try to go back to 3 backs, you know, in the box, right? So Callens, Thiago, Chanot. Which kind of scares me a little bit. I thought our best defense was offense. You know, I mean, we had possession. We kept it on the other side of the field, and I think that's when we played best. So I don't know. I don't know how he's going to mix. He just joined the team, so I don't know how quickly he's going to get into games. But I hear he's good, and I hope he does well. You know, Chanel's getting up there too. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Chanel is getting up there in age, so and he played basically all the minutes in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be huge for him to possibly have an option where he doesn't have to play every game, and maybe have Thiago there to actually back him up. So this is the New York Minute segment. Basically, we're going to go through buy or sell, unpopular opinions, word association. Our segment for today is unpopular opinions. What is your unpopular opinion of the day?
All right, my unpopular opinion, don't hate me, but I actually love Yankee Stadium. You know, it's convenient for me. I live in Westchester now because I'm bougie, but at the same time, it's easy for me to get to Yankee Stadium.
It's a baseball stadium, though.
No.
It's hard to watch a game at a baseball stadium.
But, you know, our fan base can grow in there. It holds all the fans that we need. It's got all the amenities. After I went to the Philly game, I was like, this is a Boulder Stadium, bro. Like that was hard to be in. And I know people complain about the size of the pitch, but I don't know. I've gotten used to it. I think it's an advantage for us. All I ask is for all the games to be at home. Maybe we should put up like a Twitter poll. Like, if all games were at Yankee Stadium, how much do you care about having a new stadium? Because I think my popular opinion might not be as unpopular as we think. It's just having to travel now to Citi Field, having to travel to New Jersey. Like, it's just too much.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the chicken bucket at Yankee Stadium.
The chicken bucket.
That thing is hot fire. When you're had a couple of drinks, enjoying yourself, that chicken bucket is next level.
It really is. It really is. So that's my unpopular opinion. What's your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion is I think we got to get rid of Bing Bong. I mean, it was the saying of our championship run. It was amazing, but Bing Bong's got to go. Now that we lost James Sand, who was the Bing Bong king, it's time to be done.
Bro, you just said ping pong earlier in the show. What are you talking
I'm done
about?
with it. That was my recap, and we're done. I had to recap it for last season. It was a beautiful saying. I actually did the Bing Bong in the championship game.
I remember. You should post that picture online so people can see it.
I'll show everybody the Bing Bong. I was very concerned. The lady did not know what Bing Bong was. She obviously did not follow the team, but the makeup artist still got the Bing Bong right. But yeah, time to retire it. I'll miss you, Bing Bong. But it's done.
I don't agree, but that's why it's unpopular opinion.
All season long, we're going to have FIFA predictions.
Whoa.
We're going to see how accurate FIFA gets it versus how the game goes. It's going to be interesting.
It is interesting. Although those FIFA stats for MLS teams be hot trash.
Hot trash. And can we please get Taty Castellanos' face? He won the Golden Boot.
Bro, how hard is it to add this to the game, bro? Like, man's Golden Boot, he still looks like they just took...
Wait, what is this?
His thing.
No, this is...
How do you do his thing?
This is his thing, bro.
Is it like this?
Did you watch a game this year, bro? Yeah,
is it like this?
Yeah, it's like that.
I haven't
it's the
perfected.
animation to our intro, bro. I'm sorry, guys. LA Galaxy versus NYCFC. Alfredo Morales with a horrible pass to Chicharito, who scores. Boom. That was a beauty from Chicharito. Unfortunately, Sean Johnson. Come on, Sean Johnson. You need to stop that one. Later in the half, Chicharito again. Bang! Damn.
Offside. Boom.
That should have been offside. Oh, look at the
VAR.
dance. Oh,
VAR.
Second half, NYCFC down 2-0. There we go. A pass to Parks, who shoots and scores.
Golazo. Goal.
I'm excited for Kane Parks. It's going to be a good year for him. Let's go. Late in the game, extra time.
Goal! I think you were going to say something else, but it's okay because the goal came in.
Oh.
Let's go, Moxie!
Look at the supporters going crazy.
Woo. Reminds me of the Philly days.
Woo! Game tied at 2, and that is your final prediction from FIFA. So that's what FIFA thinks, but what do you think is going to happen this game?
You know, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think we got a lot of key players on offense. They just signed that new guy who looks like he's going to be a beast.
Costa.
Yeah, that dude's going to be a beast, I think. And I can always say his name wrong. Chicharito.
Chicharito, yeah.
Chicharito. Sometimes I want to call him Chicharron. Chicharito. He towards the end of the season, he was just killing it. The rest of the team didn't step up, but I think he was destroying it, and I do think that it's gonna be a high scoring game. So I'm gonna give it to the boys. We're gonna win 3-2.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an explosive matchup. Sean Johnson, keep bringing that fire. I mean, the guy won us the championship with all his defense, all his saves last year.
Agreed.
So it's gonna be an offensive powerhouse. But if Sean Johnson can make a couple more saves than their goalie, I think we're gonna be set to win this game.
Wait, what do you think the score is gonna be?
I'm going with, let's go 2-1. Well, guys, if you liked our channel, please subscribe, like. We'll be here with you all season covering anything NYCFC. All right? By the way, you were saying the coach's name wrong the whole time.
It's not Delia?
No, it's Diallo.
I'm going to call him Ronnie because I keep messing that up.
We'll do something, man.